In the heart of ancient Gandhara, where civilizations once thrived and wisdom flowed like rivers, stood a city that was home to one of the greatest centers of learning the world has ever known, Taxila. Long before Oxford, before Nalanda, before even Plato's academy, there was Taxila, the lost university of the East. A place where princes and peasants studied side by side. Where knowledge was sacred. And where ideas shaped empires. Taxila's story begins nearly 2,700 years ago, around the 6th century BCE. Located near today's Islamabad in Pakistan, it was strategically placed on the crossroads of great civilizations, India, Persia, and Central Asia. This made it more than a city, it became a melting pot of cultures, languages, and philosophies. Archaeologists have discovered that Taxila wasn't just one site, it was a cluster of cities, each built upon the ruins of the previous one. From Bur Mound to Sirkap and Sursuk, every layer tells a different chapter in its long and glorious history. What made Taxila truly extraordinary was its university, one of the world's first organized centers of higher education. There were no formal buildings at first. Instead, teachers or gurus opened their homes to students who came from across the continent. Over time, the city became an entire university town, buzzing with scholars from as far as China, Greece, and Arabia. Subjects taught included medicine, mathematics, politics, philosophy, military strategy, astrology, and even languages and arts. Students were not just locals. Many traveled hundreds of miles to study here. Admission was not by wealth or birth, but by merit and determination. Among its famous students was Chanakya, the brilliant strategist who guided Chandragupta Maurya to found the Mauryan Empire. Another was Javaka, the personal physician of the Buddha. And even Panini, the legendary grammarian whose Sanskrit grammar still influences linguistics today, is said to have studied here. Taxila's education system was remarkably advanced. There were no fixed terms or degrees, a student studied as long as needed until the teacher was satisfied. Debates were central to learning, logic and reasoning were sharpened through open discussion. Teachers focused not only on knowledge, but also on ethics, discipline, and self-control. Learning was free, but students offered gifts to their teachers as tokens of gratitude, a system based on respect, not profit. Taxila stood at the junction of major trade routes, including the Great Trunk Road, connecting it to Persia, China, and India. This made it a cosmopolitan hub, where ideas from East and West met and merged. Greek art mixed with Indian spirituality. Persian science met Indian philosophy. This fusion created the famous Gandhara culture, whose art and architecture remain timeless masterpieces. But even the greatest centers of wisdom cannot escape the tides of history. Around the 5th century CE, the glory of Taxila began to fade. The invasions of the White Huns, led by Toramana and Mihirakula, devastated the city. Libraries burned, scholars fled, and the once lively classrooms fell silent. The University of Taxila, the jewel of ancient learning, was lost to time. Centuries later, in the 19th century, British archaeologists rediscovered the ruins of Taxila. The great Sir John Marshall spent decades excavating the site, uncovering monasteries, stupas, classrooms, and tools of learning. Today, these ruins stand as UNESCO World Heritage Sites, preserving the echoes of a civilization that once lit the torch of knowledge. Though the city was lost, its spirit lives on. The idea that knowledge belongs to all, that learning should be free and noble, was born here. From Taxila's classrooms grew traditions that shaped Buddhism, Hinduism, education, and philosophy across Asia. In many ways, every modern university owes a silent debt to the forgotten teachers of Taxila. Taxila may have turned to dust, but its light of knowledge still shines, across nations, across centuries, across generations. This was not just a city. It was an idea. The idea that learning can change the world. If you enjoyed this story of ancient wisdom, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more forgotten tales of history.